Good morning from Let Us Eat. I'm going to sharpen my knife. Give it a few quick strokes so I can mince my onion, because today in my kitchen I'm going to be making Crockpot broccoli cheddar soup. Now I don't use boxed or canned broth if I can help it. So I'm going to put 2 chicken bouillon cubes in. I'm going to mince my onion. Try to keep it about 1/4 of an inch thin when you cross long. I usually do julienne style. Now be careful and cut as close to your fingers as you can. I hold my breath when I'm cutting onions. It helps keep your eyes from tearing up, as silly as it looks. Give my hands a quick rinse. You can also wipe your hands on your stainless faucet. That'll help get rid of the onion intensity. Now you can use half and half, but if you don't have half and half, there's a substitute for evaporated milk, 1 can. You can also use cottage cheese and milk. Didn't really tell you how many parts cottage cheese, how many parts milk. If you Google substitute for half and half, it'll give you like up to 7 good things to substitute with. I got a brick of good melting cheese. I'm going to add my broccoli. You may use frozen or fresh. I prefer the frozen. because when it cooks into the crock pot, it thaws and melts and it becomes tender. I'm going to cut it into cubes. It'll melt better in the crock pot. About this thickness, I think it's about 2 inches per cube. I've had my crock pot heating on low before I started filling my pot up with all the ingredients to get it preheated so it will melt. You may use Velveeta melting cheese. You may use cheddar cheese, Colby Jack, whatever cheese that you fancy at that time. I've never made broccoli cheddar soup. I wanted to give it a try. A very good friend of mine, Denise Bates, is going to get to try it. It's her favorite. I'm going to cut this one down a little more. It looks rather big. Okay. Put my cutting board in the sink and knife and give my hands a quick rinse. I'm going to add some garlic. I'm a dump and go mom with my meals, but for those of you starting out, I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons of the garlic salt. I learned how to be a spice master in culinary school. Now I usually do about a tablespoon of my fresh black cracked pepper. You'll know it's enough black pepper when it's covering all the cheese. Not a complete cover, but you can see it on all the cheese cubes. I'm going to add about a quarter cup of water. I'm actually going to do a third so the condensed milk and the bouillon cubes can incorporate together for the flavoring. I'm going to give it a quick stir. You don't want to put too much liquid in this because it's a cheese-based soup. The condensed milk and the cheese will blend in together and incorporate with all the flavoring. I'm going to cover my crock pot. And I'm going to set my crock pot to high. And I'm going to come back around 11 a.m. this morning to see how it's melting and give it a stir. And if it needs to be thickened, you can always add about a tablespoon of flour and stir the flour in. And then the flour will act as a thickening agent. This is my first time, as I mentioned, making broccoli cheddar soup. It's a very easy recipe to start with for beginners. It only consists of a bag of frozen or fresh broccoli, but frozen gets tender better in the crock pot. I say about a pound of melting cheese or whatever cheese you fancy for the soup. Then I used 1 can of the condensed milk. It was 12 ounces, or you can use your half and half according to the directions of the recipe. I found my recipe on Google. I will put all ingredients and how to in my description below. I will also link my Instagram account, Let Us Eat, as well as my Facebook page. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.